Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. The Doctor is in, and we are finally finishing our Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All playthrough. Yeah, at least we would be if I had remembered to turn on the controller prior to starting the game. Give me just a moment. Goody goody. All right, hold up. You can't see what I'm doing here, but I'm pulling the game back up. There we go. And thank you so much for the lurk, Colacat Killer. Thank you for redeeming first, Ed Fan. So, as you may have heard, tonight is my last stream for a few months, because I'm going to be moving over the course of the next few weeks, and it's going to take me some time to get settled in at the new place. So, I hope you guys enjoy tonight. I'm sure I will. But without further ado, let us begin. Well, okay, I lied. There is some further ado. I need to adjust my seat because apparently it's in the wrong position for a voice acting stream. Don't know why. And welcome in, Shadow Knight. How are you? And thank you for joining Yin Yang Gamers. Thank you for chatting first time in the chat. How is everyone today? How is everyone? Alright, I also need to move the mic just a smidge so that way it's angled right with my face. No, actually, I think tonight's a good place to stop, because I want to end the I want to end these things on a high note. I mean, granted, if I streamed more, it would be more Atelier Sophie at this point, because that's kind of a chill game that doesn't really require a whole lot of emotional investment, but I just wanted to, like, make the finale a bit more explosive, as it were, so... Alright, and Yin Gang Gamer says, I'm doing alright, about to head out to my dad's house with the kids for a bit. How's your day going? My day has been going good. I'm not a fan of daylight savings time, so that's still kind of kicking my butt, as it were. But you play the hand you're dealt. Do you need to take cover then if things are exploding? I mean, you can. The explosions are all on my end, though, so if anybody needs to take cover, it's me. Alright, let's get into this.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. Love this game series and Professor Layton. I do too. At some point, I do want to stream the Professor Layton games, but those are a little bit lower priority up until the point where I hit the time of the crossover, so to speak. So, probably do... Actually, hold on. So we've got Ace Attorney 1, 2, 3, and then the crossover would be the next, chronologically speaking. So I would need to do Professor Layton's Curious Village, Diabolical Box, and Unwound Future before I do that one. So I would say I'd have a few more games to stream before I start getting into Professor Layton, because I would need to at least stream Ace Attorney 3 before that. Of course, I've also got other priorities. And part of me's hoping that now that they've announced a brand new Professor Layton game during the Nintendo Direct, maybe they will port the original games to, like, Steam or Switch or something. I'm not exactly holding out hope, because those games were made with the dual screen of the Nintendo DS in mind, so it could just be that those are going to be forever stuck on mobile. That's okay, it's just a little bit frustrating for people that might prefer to have it available on console. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, continuing. Wow, what's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impacts herself. It is a fake.
Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impacts, and who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well, it looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. That should be that fact remains unchanged, but that's not as bad as the infamous typo that's at the alternate ending for this case that was unfortunately patched out. I loved that typo. But acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
His theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. The defense believes the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. On Guard to not have known it was a fake. That's gotta be it, because that's handwriting there.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, your response?
I believe that even more important than finding out if this note is real or not is whether the attorney's badge pinned to that man's chest is real. That is the million-dollar question.
Yes, I agree.
Me too. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that I messed up again.
Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Mr. Edgeworth, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Corrida's private life. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well.
That's it. Yes, and so naturally, this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the note was a fake. Ugh. Well, if you're just gonna give away the answer like that, what's the point even?
Order! Order! See here, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
I was the one who thought of the spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply... I can't even describe it.
Yes, sorry.
I could have even bragged about embarrassing Mr. Edgeworth to my grandchild, had you not. For that, I assign you a penalty, Mr. Wright.
Rude! What? If only I'd kept my mouth shut.
So then, the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. On Guard monitored Mr. Corida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. On Guard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? It's devil's proof. He can't prove that it happened. Ugh.
Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth! It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured?
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. On Guard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley DeKiller to commit murder. That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness?
It's...
Yes? Go on, who is it?
The man himself, Mr. Shelley DeKiller.
Oh, Mr. DeKiller. But wait! Shelley DeKiller? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming here, to the witness stand.
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Is this all right with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is all right to do this.
Very well, then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your, occupation, please.
Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I'm a professional assassin. I say! What is going on here?
Your Honor?
How can you remain so calm, and what is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. DeKiller himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley DeKiller.
I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya?
A voice, Mr. Wright. Can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller.
It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events.
Why is it always the final case where we interrogate the weirdos? You know, the weirdoers than usual.
Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else.
And what would that be?
At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct?
It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida.
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client.
Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? Hold on, gotta adjust my mic again. There we go.
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
What do you mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
There is something I must first state.
We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients?
I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said that this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means?
Sorry. Go on.
Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright.
That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation.
To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And...
oh, back that up. The trust between you and your client?
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did...
Yes?
that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand.
That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything.
The judge had better watch himself.
It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
We understand, so please tell us the name of your client.
I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do.
Ah, the egomaniacal.
It is not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you.
Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience. Try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. Alright, so let's press him again on this statement here. The trust between you and your client.
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out.
I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules.
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person?
I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek.
You've made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready.
Excellent. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand.
That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything.
Judge had better watch himself.
Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness! What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? Now, I would like people to point out... I would like to point out something. There is a little bit of something that should perhaps cast doubt on Mr. DeKiller's motives here. I'll let you try and suss out what it is before he says the name.
That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What?
Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier.
Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What?
You see, if he were serious about revealing who his client was, he would have let Maya go free already. Just a thought. This can't be! On the phone earlier... What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who summoned this witness. You Shelley the killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah.
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No!
Multitasking almost done. Very good. Excuse me. One moment here. All right, I'm sorry. I've got several pings and I need to find out what's going on here. Okay, we're back. You want to see who will win this round of March Madness? Okay.
With all this evidence, it seems obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this?
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the killer is certainly lying under oath.
It
wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No! Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them! Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them! Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw away this chance and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? Alright, I'm gonna save here, because I can't remember if there's a thing here. What am I supposed to do? Okay, I'm gonna try requesting the verdict here. Your Honor, the defense requests that... It's no use. I can't. It feels like I've lost my voice. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know. But Man on Guard is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than On Guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten On Guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right?
But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Alright, one moment here. Okay, there we go. Right away, Your Honor.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about, usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. It is any wonder no one likes to go to court. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, fifth time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Objection!
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. If I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes two of us.
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However... What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit.
Yes.
How much is your fee?
I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial.
Ah, no! I'm not thinking of hiring...
Mr. Wright!
Yes?
You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you?
What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor?
Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty!
Oh, I love that scene so much. Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not?
One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime.
I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill.
If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job.
Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you.
However, I will say this. Even though I am one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party.
That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer.
And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime.
Are you talking about the button and the knife?
Yes, and my business card.
Oh, this card.
So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy. My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service.
He's pretty devoted to his work.
But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook.
It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here.
While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene.
So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing?
That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too.
No, I already told you, I have no intention of using your services, ever! Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here?
Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead.
From the very beginning?
That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times.
I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. Okay, so it seems like they're saying that there's something wrong with this statement. So the question is, what is it? So if she knew from the beginning that Juan was dead... Okay, that can be explained as... No. Bears the victim's blood and unguards fingerprints. No. How would it prove that she wouldn't... How do I prove that she wouldn't know this? I mean, I would think that the wine glass might be proof. Let's save here. Wait, did I save it? There we go. Just gotta be sure here. Alright, let's present that wine glass and see what happens. Aha! Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer.
What is the meaning of that attitude?
When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that the Juan Corrida had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass.
Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. Well, please explain it to me how that's not possible, because I'm confused as well. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Okay. Had this been planned, they never would have left their fingerprints behind. That's a good point.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the exact same thought just now.
Witness,
How do you explain this strange phenomenon?
isn't a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail. It is not a very important point anyway, correct?
I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation?
Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Sorry.
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well.
Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Mr. Crust came to me, about a week ago.
1 week ago? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind.
Please stop.
In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind.
A specific date and time?
It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony.
Did you ask why on that specific night?
No. I try to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions.
Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night?
I'm sure it was all for the bear.
The bear?
My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in one Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me.
You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all.
That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was.
I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Very. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet?
Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that.
Really? Witness, please continue with your testimony.
We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters.
So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail.
And why is that?
That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just now of any importance?
Of course it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his client before the murder, then it is unlikely he is mistaken.
So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews?
I guess so.
You see, it is just as I said.
I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax.
Now then, would the witness please continue? That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
So your client was Adrian Andrews?
That is correct.
Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be any strange this time around. Anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. Excuse me. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Alright. I think it's this one here. I need to press this one again. Did you ask why on that specific night?
No. I try to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions.
Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night?
I'm sure it was all for the bear.
The bear?
My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in one Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me.
He must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose his conference at the press conference, after all.
That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was.
I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
It was not important. What the killer said just sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important.
Well then, witness, please continue.
Something about this testimony is bothering me. What is it? Let it go. About his suspicions this time? Even if I ask about them, it would only be a guess. I see. That's fine, then. Okay, we met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was with the brief pause? Let's let it go. It's probably just my imagination. I need to find something more definitive to catch this guy on. Can we believe that your testimony up to this point has been reliable? Okay, let's press this again and go delve deeper. Skip ahead to the press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail.
And why is that?
That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
It was very important. Of course it was very important, Your Honor. Okay. Wait. Dang it. We've already been through there. This request came to me about a week ago. It was at request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar. Something's not right here. Nope. Let's try pressing that one again. So your client was Adrian Andrews?
That is correct.
Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. Okay, we already know that we've got to draw more information out of him, so let's try pressing the week ago. 1 week ago? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Turney, I hope you will keep that in mind.
Please, stop.
In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind.
Specific date and time? Okay. Was there any kind of maybe proof that Adrian Andrews had an alibi for the week before? Maybe it's that magazine clipping? Nope, that's not it. I've got nothing. Which means I'm gonna have to look this one up. Bear with me. No, I've already got the page pulled up. It's just that, yeah, I gotta scroll to the right spot. Okay, wine glass. Okay. I forgot to check out this one branch. See, I knew that there was something wrong, because, like, I feel like I know what the contradiction is, but I'm not seeing an opportunity to present it here, because he hasn't actually contradicted anything yet. I just need to force him to do so. Okay, so, met a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. Oh, back that up. Press. There we go. Physically met, blah, 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 blah. Press further on the brief pause, give more details, always meet in person so that I can look them in the eye. Not important this time. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just now of any importance?
That was very important. I heard what I think I heard just now, and I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Huh? Really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client.
Can anybody tell me what the problem with this statement is? Anyone? Anyone at all? I'll wait while I hydrate. Well, there's a very... the problem is that he says he met Adrian Andrews, who hired him. Yep, that is correct. Adrian Andrews is not a him. Of course, granted, this was released back in early 2000, so maybe that might change if it was released today, but still... The moment I saw him, that man, Adrian Andrews, I can trust this person as a client. Objection! I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy?
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley to kill her? You have never met the real Adrian Andrews!
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip-up. About her.
So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her?
If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman.
Oh! Order in the court, Mr. Wright. What is the meaning of this?
The witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request.
But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name.
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with.
What? What is going on? Shelley DeKiller! This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more.
I know he's just gonna spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth.
Alright, before I take on this testimony, I need to take a break for just a few minutes, so I will be back. Enjoy the ads while I am gone. If I can remember how to set the ads here. There we go. Okay, we are back. Thank you for waiting. Where were we? Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, let's continue.
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
This, despite the fact that he told us that he doesn't do mail-in requests.
There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter?
You know, I just have to point out, the killer's an idiot. Because if he was smart, he would have said,
So that woman sent a proxy to meet with me. Now I completely feel justified in revealing her as my client.
oh well.
So you took this job through a letter?
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony. Which means he's definitely lying. They all are when they get caught in a lie the first time. Yep. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I'll throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients?
Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible.
But didn't you meet your client this time?
No, I did not.
Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse.
Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me.
All right, then. Just cough it up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. DeKiller met with his client?
No. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. And your line of questioning was just another waste of time.
Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong.
There have been times when I took a job without having met my client.
And why could you not meet certain clients?
Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times, and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? Ah, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email?
In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot, hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and?
The request was for the murderer of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things.
2 or 3 other things?
Yes.
And what were these other things?
A few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? Be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Well, let it go. The killer sounds like one sharp man. I should try to find a better way to do this without making him suspicious.
Let's continue with the testimony. Witness, if you please. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you're saying that you never saw your client's face? Not even once?
I did. Once. It was when I get to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see.
Why would you say that? Oh.
But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask?
The nickel samurai mask, I'm guessing.
Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
Do we have any problems with this testimony? I don't think so. I think I can pull something out of what he said, but it would be real bad if I did something and made him mad over something trivial. There are no problems with the testimony, Your Honor. We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in. Oh, yeah. All I can do right now is pray that those items reach us in time. Better press further on those 2 or 3 other small things. Okay, so skip ahead, other things, nothing to do with the case. Let's press it further. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney.
Yes?
Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your clients. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one...
Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what those other jobs your client requested were.
If it is truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and to give it to Adrian Andrews.
I found this figurine at Mr. Enguarde's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Enguarde, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
Yep. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Let's see. Only Corida and Andrews know how to open it. Celeste's suicide note. Think it over again. It's no use. As long as I can't put my finger on the central problem here, pressing this witness anymore would be extremely dangerous.
It appears that Mr. Wright has no problems. Well then, witness, please continue. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you're saying that you never saw your client's face? Not even once?
I did. Once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask?
The nickel samurai mask, I'm guessing?
Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
One thing does sort of stick out at me, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Let's recall Mr. Powers' testimony.
After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. On Guard. And at the time, he was not wearing his nickel samurai mask.
Oh! Order! Order! Yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness! Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips for that night for carrying juice to the various rooms. Is that so wrong?
Huh?
The man who gave me that tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person.
I'm sorry, but sadly we are not nearly so generous here. If I could just receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Oh, the deja vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man?
And where is your evidence that the large roll of cash was not in fact a tip? Come, Mr. Edgeworth, show me the money.
What?
Mr. Attorney.
Yes?
You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. In fact, I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client.
Oh, no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know?
Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all.
Ugh.
I think we are on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I am free to cut contact at any time.
I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness.
If only you were this apologetic all the time. Anyway, I do not see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness.
We pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Okay, yeah, we've already heard this. Okay. Let's see, one of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews. Something about this is wrong, but I don't know how to... I don't know how to present it properly. Think. What do I do? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Adrian had said she would burn this note if she got it. It's clearly not burnt, so... maybe that's it? Let me save. Let me save. There we go. Shelley to Killer. She would really given the bear to Miss Andrews. And this item should not have been inside it.
This item?
I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. Excuse me. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note and burned it. You know, okay. I have a general complaint with how they handle evidence in the first Ace Attorney trilogy. There's too many times when we're given supplemental information that is tangentially related to the evidence that I think is not always obviously connected to the evidence. So, like, for example, you know, the presenting the suicide note here as proof that it wasn't, that the killer didn't give the bear to Adrian. The problem with that is that there's... Hey, Xanadu Peach, thank you for joining. How are you? Welcome in. I'm doing well, to answer your question. Where was I? Yeah, I think the problem is that the information about Adrian wanting to burn that note is that, you know, it's not actually part of the evidence. Like, if the evidence description was updated, maybe I could justify that, but this is just... It seems like it's too disjointed. Doing okay, just reading your dad and mom's tax forms. It almost makes it surreal and real at the same time. Yeah. Gotcha. Alright. Alright, well, let us continue. I mean, oh, shredding, not reading. Dang autocorrect, don't know how they got that. Yeah, darn AutoCAD for sure. Alright, where was I?
Order! 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 So that's where you two were going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Oh! Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's not...
That's enough! If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do.
But wait, please!
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
To be fair, he kind of did it to himself. Yeah, a little bit. No, please, not that. Please, wait!
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... And Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there was a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this! If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... to be fair, it's the judge we're talking about. He's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. The prosecution...
What has come over everyone? Even you are...
The prosecution... rests.
What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor?
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt on guard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder?
The prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defense's final remarks.
Right. Yeah, the judge is the dimwit. I mean, you know, he's living proof that dinosaurs once roamed the earth, so I'm sure his brains are kind of lacking.
Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt on guard, to the stand.
The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. On Guard!
What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap, it's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? Alright, we're gonna save here. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on the matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt on Guard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's gonna say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt on Guard, is... Not guilty.
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Mat on guard, your client deserves an answer. Mat on guard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Mat on guard is...
Objection!
Wait a minute. Hold up. I gotta back this up, because that didn't go right. Side with justice to save Maya's life.
Hello there.
Hello there, Eve. Well, wait. No, there's a bad ending, though. Isn't there? Hold on. Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. Okay, thank you for not looking this up. I appreciate it. So, all right, we're going with this one. And then...
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Mat on guard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Mat on guard is...
Objection!
There we go. Franziska von Karma!
What are you doing here? Ow!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eye off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence here is in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoes. I could spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence?
Excuse me.
This trial's already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that'll turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Okay, hold up. I want to make sure that I... Alright, let me save again here. Okay. Not yet, okay. Alright, let's find out more details about this pistol. Actually... Well, maybe not. Maybe we don't need it. I'm pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from On Guard Mansion. More details. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelley the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There was even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it, the killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There is a button missing on this uniform. A button? It is a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Mrs. Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor! Please, allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled! This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix, I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first. Make On Guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If On Guard wishes to be... Words. If On Guard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but... That's asking me to do the impossible! The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with On Guard. If the killer were to no longer think of On Guard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you can make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence! The PC was just shown, he's not accepting them! Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, what does she mean? You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We've seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there's one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I'm not saying it's us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then you want to show the evidence to that person?
Alright, saving now. Saving now. Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
One chance.
Please show your evidence to show who you think is the right person.
That's impossible! To turn the situation around in one try?
One try. That is all I will permit.
I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think! There must be a way to save Maya while taking our guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to?
Alright. I'm gonna go with a very obvious answer for this. Because, a very obvious wrong answer for this.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't have anything to say to this.
How about you, Miss Von Karma?
Well, I was just shot, so...
I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue.
But what?!
No one understands what you're talking about anymore.
But wait, please! One more chance!
That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant mad on guard. That is all. This court is adjourned.
And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer's a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. You'd get along with Berncastel. Justice ill-served. Oops. Alright. Now with that out of the way, let's go for the real ending. Alright, so the person that we actually want to show the evidence to. Right. Shelley the killer.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
That would be the videotape, because he's the one who wanted to see the thing.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. It's Phoenix Midnight. I just now saw you here. Thank you for joining. How are you? And I see, I don't know, Berncastell's the kind of person to give someone a fate worse than death with miracles. I mean, the reason I say the Bernkastell thing is because she's the Witch of Miracles who knows that miracles do not exist. At least that's what I recall from her profile. But anyway. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea.
Actually, you are on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
But what? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Yeah, yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt on guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer?
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness.
Yes.
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Killer name, even if it takes an eternity.
Thank you, Shadow Knight. Somebody got it. Ah, yes. Haha. Oh, that feels good. That feels good to know that someone got what I was going for there.
Even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ha! I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright,
Yes?
my contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands.
You did like Marcus Stimack's voice as Shelley the Killer in the English dubbed anime? I'll have to listen to that. I've actually not listened to all of the characters English dubbed, mostly because I had a hard time watching the anime in general because of how rushed everything was. But I will certainly give it a listen.
I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I am not an item! And meanwhile, Pearlie's thinking, but they are an item! She and her special someone. You have to go back and hear it to remember. Some worked, some didn't. Yeah, there are certainly some voices for the anime dub that didn't work. Not mentioning any names, like for instance, Von Karma. That would just be ridiculous. But Oh, Miles Edgeworth's voice absolutely did. I think that Chris Waycamp's probably my favorite English voice for him. That's really the crown jewel of the dub for that anime. Anyway, let us continue. Maya, I never thought I'd see you again. Oh, thank goodness.
This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of... I don't quite know... Ah! Miss Von Karma, where did that...
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. He has a particular set of skills. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me? Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright?
You finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief.
To my client, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
We're gonna plead guilty. Matt on guard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Guilty, 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 guilty!
As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
Wait, I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard?
I've listened, I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now.
Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile, as opposed to smirking. I'm really happy that you two are in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Pretty sure the killer will somehow infiltrate the prison and kill him somehow. Probably. But, you know, it's a non-zero chance that he'll be safe in there, at least. And, I mean, until he's set to be executed by the state, in which case, you know, his goose is cooked either way, and just, you know, lethal injection or whatever they use in this particular system of law is probably a much kinder fate than what the killer has in store for him. Thank you so much, everyone.
It looks like we've resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. Phrasing, Mia! You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is... Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices, and your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right? Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody.
Really?
The pearls!
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as... Words, sorry. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Ah, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid. Pretty sure it's lethal injection given the city. I mean, it's... Japanifornia, probably for San Francisco, so I really don't know.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh!
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. LA, technically, well, LA with an alternate history. Yeah, I know. It's in the United States or Japan. I recall something about a demon emperor also being assassinated, but anyway. Japan uses hangings as their main methods of executions, I think. Huh, interesting. Yet another reason to love that place. Anyway, Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. You hate this bee, you're not going to finish that sentence. Yeah, I understand that. She does not have a very good air of likability to her. That said, I've seen much worse. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened. So I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. Miss Von Karma, you are aware of the irony of that statement? Turnabout goes buys for the win. Yep, that was a good one. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. But foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. But what? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you.
The truth.
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Ah! Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool!
Miss Von Karma!
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. She must be illegitimate then, because she ain't perfect at this point. She's already lost, what, 2 trials. Right, she couldn't lose this one because she'd... Well, no, she would have won this one, actually. But... Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Well, at least she's self-aware. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return to the precinct later. There's something else.
Ah! Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay.
Nick!
Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted, just like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Oh, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. Never run around or give you up or let you down. You know, that thing. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost too early. Is it really that easy to do something like that? I see I have offended the pun hater. Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Mostly all right. All right, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger and a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick, food!
Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things.
A telephone pole? And it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was beginning to give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bully Mr. Wright Don't you reckon you bully Mr. Wright too hard? Sorry, I permed my tongue with my hair.
If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now. Everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lana bought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Huh? Me? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think the trial would have had a very different ending.
Ah, well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
What? 4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. Oh, boy, dang it, I missed it. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped? Never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Ah. Sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Ah, thanks to her I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. She hasn't eaten in 2 days. Cut her a break.
I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give to him to express how I feel. I don't know. I don't want to give him my attorney badge, I don't think, just because it's... What's the word? I kind of need that thing, so... Also kind of need the Magatama. So... I think it's the whip. It's probably the whip. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway. So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you would need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh?
Ah, yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kind of already put your name on the bill.
Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd be better anyhow for $3,000. Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Huh? Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal, time to let it all out.
This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. That is patently false, Shadow Knight. All right, then. If you say so. She actually shows up in Ace Attorney Investigations. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick, and I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners, so I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case. What? Why would you do that? Why? 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 What are the reservations for anyway?
Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I already said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it! Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal.
Even Pearl ships them. Yeah, the couple does have their fair bit of shippers. Oh crud, I can't remember her voice.
I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by this restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Oh, recently. Yes, that girl, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes.
Really gotta throw in some laundry. Yeah, fair enough. There's still, end credit scenes, but, you can get that on the YouTube.
It's time to begin our quest of World Circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think that if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes.
I'm ready! There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears! I'm going to be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls, represent!
We've got a new act all worked out! Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus! Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start this off! Get on with it! What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on its stand. I can't believe this. Really, how long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Pooh's idea, so that must mean it has a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? I was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like loyalty. And any man who hasn't heard about this is gonna feel the pain of my hero. Yes, they're gonna feel the burden of birth. The body's wife is very dangerous because of that 3-year-old away from us where the sword is here burn right now and cause a big stink that... I wish that was the last time she showed up. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
Where are you going, Francisca?
How did you know I was here?
With this,
That's...
I heard you were planting things in a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
Humph. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with the things from Tequila's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things?
It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Francisca,
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
you may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am.
I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can, just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You're going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today you chase after me after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Oh, there's the drawing. Not a bad likeness. And that is it. That is the end of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. Someday I will begin Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, but that day will not be anytime soon because I've got other things that I plan on streaming when I return from my hiatus, which is going to be after tonight. This was the last stream I will be doing for a few months, so if you are currently subscribed, do not feel like you need to remain subscribed, because, you know, if I'm not going live, there's no point to it. Unless you want to support me, in which case, you know, do what you want. I appreciate your support for certain, but I just don't want you to feel like you are being, like you're paying for nothing, basically. In the meantime, if you are in my Discord, feel free to check out the different streamers that I have there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some final shout-outs for the night, so that way people I know who do streaming will get... I mean, people who I've seen streaming, rather. If you are... Since you're not going to be able to watch my streams, go check these people out. Lesson, if you see a stranger in this list, follow him. Or her. So we have got Cola Cat Killer. We have got Revolution Live. And let's see, those are the only ones I've personally seen stream offhand, so yeah, follow these two people if you haven't already, if you are interested in the content being shown. But let us see who is online to raid. Don't particularly want to raid a World of Warcraft stream. Alright, Alright, I guess we will go ahead and end things here. So this is Dr. Novelle signing out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope to see you again someday in the future. I will keep everyone posted when I shall return in my Discord and also on my Twitter. So, in the meantime, This is Dr. Novelle signing out for the season finale of Dr. Novelle Plays. Hope you all have a good one. See you later.